Hey everybody, welcome back to another WARNO news roundup. Today we're gonna take a look at the second division. The other half coming with the LAN milestone, the 35th Yadrb 35th Guards Air Assault Brigade, I think is what this is supposed to mean. I'm sorry, but I just don't like the way the Soviets or the Soviet edition names translate into English. Just confusing. Guards. Anyway. Who is Lan? Well, some weird Napoleon general. Who cares? Historical context. Who cares? I mean, I'm just joking, half joking. Of course, you can read this for yourself. There's not much I can really add on to historical context. But let's get to the meat of it, shall we? What units do you get? Well, obviously, you get airborne troops, so the Desantniki will be able to forward deploy in trucks, presumably, because the heliborne Desantniki, whatever this means, will not, because they come in Mi2s and Mi8Ts. So apparently parachute means trucks only, because presumably they dropped from a plane and together with the truck. Wasn't there a movie? There was a movie where they drop out from a plane while they're already like in the vehicle, and the vehicle's getting like they are in the vehicle and they get dropped out from the plane. It's like A-Team or something, whatever. Yeah, and the heliborne will be in Mi2 and Mi8s, presumably not forward deployable. You get new Spetsnaz forces besides the crew. We'll see how that turns out. Of course, in Wargame, they're not particularly exciting, all because all they carry is an RPO launcher, making the squad not very versatile. Obviously, you get BMDs and BTRDs, essentially the heart of the division in my eyes. At least coming from Wargame, I felt the special thing about Soviet Airborne was always like they're compared to like NATO, their APCs and stuff they have available, or IFVs even they have available that NATO doesn't get. BMD 1 and 2, with BMD 1 presumably having the Grom heat gun, and the BMD 2 having the is it the 2A42? Is that what it's called? Where is my BMP2? It should be the same autocannon. It is 2A42, yes. Desantniki, parachute Desantniki will USZ and gas, common using gas. Yeah, and the IVs and or APCs will be forward deployable, right? So you get forward deployable BMDs with infantry inside, of course. Desantniki mech, and there's also a leader variant, unsurprisingly. Using gas jeeps or gas jeeps. BMD also command vehicle, but turretless. Unfortunate in Wargame, the BMD command actually had an autocannon. That was nice. BTRD comes in 3 variants. Slightly armored APC with MGs and AGS-17. Now, thus far, we don't really have a whole lot of AGLs in the game. The most prominent one probably being this one. And thus far, it's been incredibly underwhelming. But that's also on Jeep, so... In Wargame, of course, the basic BTRD only has MGs, the quad PKTs. So that's new. BTRD robot we also have in Wargame. However, here it comes with a Conkers, not a... I've also Wargame open. I think it's a Fagot or Fagot M. Fagot M. Is there even a difference? Or do we even have the basic Fagot in Wargame? Or is it all Fagot M? I think it's all just Fagot M. Maybe North Korea. I know you can't see this, but I'm not really showing anything interesting. I don't think they don't have any on their Vegas either, huh? They only have like Malyutkas, yeah. Anyway. Conquers though, packs quite a punch compared to a Fagot, which we both have. Where do you have Conquers, 20 AP. Essentially the same stats as in Wargame. And Fagot with 16 AP. And of course, lower range. And of course, a good old Scratch It. I can't wait for this. It's such a good APC. And also kind of unique in Wargame. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it works here. And the transport for manpad team. So I guess you could only get it with manpads. It was, I guess, besides VDV, the second most common way to use the Scratch It. It's a good old combination. Gonna be interesting to see how that turns out. There's more. Vasilek mod. Those are all Toad units. Toad. Vasilek. We also know from Wargame, but in there it comes on the MTLB. Also, it can even direct fire. I'm not sure what to think of that. That's a Toad mortar. What's the caliber? Like 81 millimeters? Is it 81? Or 80? I think NATO uses 81. It's 82. Well, let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure that NATO has 81. So it's like, oh, we need to be better. We need to 82 millimeters. 82 millimeters. So shouldn't have the highest AG, but of course, it is an automatic mortar. The special thing about it is the very high rate of fire. It was the same thing in Wargame as well. I don't know why they call it super heavy, but yeah, quick firing grenade launcher like fire support vehicle. Okay. Or it doubles as okay. Maybe that's what they mean with direct fire. I don't know. Gonna be interesting to see. Hope they make it feel unique-ish without being like a weird gimmick thing. 120mm mortar can forward. Both of these can forward deploy, and the 120mm howitzer. You also get a Nona, which you also know from Wargame. Self-propelled mortar in this case, not Toad, and a BM-21 V Grad V, which is this thing here, which is essentially a grad with fewer tubes. Those look to be 12 tubes, which doesn't a grad have 40? The normal grad it is. Yeah, 40. It's significantly less. Unless I'm blind. You know, that's definitely 12. Okay. Could be interesting though if we get like 3 of those for the price of 1 grad. Sure, you still have like 4 fewer rockets, but you get like much higher rate of fire since they're all like you fire 3 rockets at the same time. So that could be interesting. Tank support, well, they don't get any. Well, not inherently. They get USC with Conquerors and a D44 85mm anti-tank gun. The first anti-tank gun thus far. I don't think they... Did they mention anti-tank guns for the American division? I don't think they did. But they also get some additional help from the 8th Guards Army. Organic Recon Battalion. They get a card of T-80B. Usually. I mean, maybe 2 of whatever. 1 or 2 cards of T-80B. 1 or 2 cards of the BRD. Oh, I guess technically could be more than 2. But few cards of T-80B. BRDM2, Australia 1, and BRM1. All of these already in WARNO, of course. So we know what those stats look like, right? You have T-80B 200-point tank here. Not really an amazing tank. You can see most of the important stuff here on the Abrams. I know part of it is cut off. But like, there's... It's not in a very good position at the moment, I think. It's okay, it's just that there's a few tanks, basically all on the NATO side, that are just overperforming for their price. But it's, you know, let's see. Right, we know that the Americans get the M1 IP, which presumably is an M1 Abrams with the armor profile or values of the M1A1. So, 17 armor, 17 AP with 14 armor, 18 AP, but of course M1 Abrams has less range, and the T-80B has a Cobra. If we equal 1 range step to 1 AP and equal 1 armor equals 1 AP in terms of value, which is not really the case, but just massively simplifying here, then the M1 IP is arguably a bit better. I don't know. Also depends on price, of course. We'll just see. But both divisions getting a card of, let's just call it medium tanks, or multiple cards. BRM2, Strela 1. Do we have that? I think we do, right? We do. That's a 5 HE. Really? What? Why does it get 5 HE? Is it big? Is it a bigger Strela than the Manpad Strela? I mean, it does look a bit bigger. Anyway. And of course, BRM1, which kind of fallen out of favor, at least for me. Not really a big fan. I think it used to be cheaper and I preferred it back then. Currently, like, it doesn't, the gun doesn't really make up for the fact that it's not infantry, and infantry can just spot better because it can get further, closer to the enemy. We also get the Desert Razzmann guns, but not screw. I mean, who knows what they are like. A is somewhat lackluster. You get Igla teams with a scratchet, of course. You get towed and truck mounted 23mm ZU-23AA guns, which I believe are the exact same gun that you have on the scratchet. Yeah, all feature forward deployment. Now we get to this bad boy here. M8 and M24 variants, obviously, and the K50. Yes, and the crowd go. That's a quote. Go wild. I don't care. I'm fine with it being in there. I want variety in the game, if that means putting in a prototype that arguably shouldn't be in the game in 1999, even if the war has been going on for 2 years or something. I don't care. Of course, there's a vocal amount of people. I don't know if they're. I'd say they're a minority because it's mainly on like the Eugen Discord. I haven't really seen this sentiment anywhere else. Not so much. At the end of the day, I don't know. I can't really estimate well. But there's obviously some people who don't like it. Some people just value the 1989 cutoff date and all that, and not having prototypes and stuff more than I do. That's fine. I don't care. For all I care, they can put in a T90 again. But yeah, 30mm autocannon, Igla, and Vickers. Essentially the exact same loadout that we have in Organ Dragon, of course, right? That is the 30mm gun, the autocannon, the 2A42. Alright, that's the same it's the same gun that you have on the BMP2 and BMD2 as well, at least according to the name. Obviously, where is it? Okay, this here is the gun, side mounted, not on the turret, in case you don't know, which makes using it potentially a bit annoying. Depends on how it is implemented in WARNO. In Wargame, it is quite annoying. Although such an presumably very expensive helicopter, you probably shouldn't really use that close to enemy units. For Iglas, it doesn't specify which, but I presume those are Igla Vs. Actually, they don't have to be, because the M24V also is just normal Iglas. So I guess they don't have to be Igla Vs. Could just be normal Iglas too. 12 Vickers, yep, we saw that. In Wargame, they're essentially better Hellfires. Semi-active Hellfires, not talking about the Find Forget ones. We're stabilizer, but they're also much, much faster. But that doesn't really tell us anything about how it's going to be implemented in WARNO, of course. MiG-27 in 3 loadouts, bombs, rockets. In 3 loadouts, bombs and rockets. Well, I guess 2 different bombs. MiG-29, ASF, MiG-25 seat, and bomber. And that's it. Well, don't we have... hold on, we have, I think, 2 RBFs, right? We have... No, that's RBT. But I think the East German one is RBF, right? This is RBF, yes. So, I mean, 8 bombs, potentially. Could be 8 cluster bombs. Could be 8 napalm bombs. Could be 8 AG bombs. Could it carry LGBs? I only remember people talking about the SC-24s carrying LGBs. So I guess maybe they can't. Decent ECM, presumably the same in WARNO. And BM, of course, we also have in Wargame Seaplane. We had that for a while. Did they remove it or did they put it back in? It was in game for a while and then they removed it again. Yeah, we don't have the MiG-25 in the game currently. It was in there for a while. But I I don't know why, but they removed it. Maybe it was just a placeholder until they put in the... What is it? It's the wrong one. The MiG-27 seat? Yeah. Or the SU-24. Wait, don't we have... We have no SU-24 seat? This is anti-radar. We only have to... Did we have an SU-24 as well for a while? Or am I imagining shit now? Anyway. Well, that's all there is to it. Either discourse civil. At least I didn't mention Humvees and 84s here. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get to play this next week. Yeah. See you next time. Bye bye.